perspective, algorithms themselves aren't actually valuable. What's valuable is their ability to solve a problem. So really two things. One is, can it solve a problem? Is there some pain point that the algorithm can really alleviate? And number two, and this one sounds silly, but do people actually use the recommendations? Does it make a difference? At Evolve, we would supply scores about candidates, but if recruiters didn't follow the recommendations, it was like a tree falling in the forest, right? If someone didn't listen or it didn't change any sort of decision, did you really do the analysis in the first place? So for me, those two criteria are what make an algorithm valuable. Something that they both mentioned, which is really key and often ignored, is this notion of closing the loop, gathering data at all stages of the customer life cycle, or even when we talk about cancer, kind of patient life cycle. So instead of just doing a retrospective analysis and predicting an outcome, I'll give you an example of where that fails, where we did an analysis for a customer with millions of chats, and what we found was that there was one indicator that a conversation was going to get a low feedback score, and it was when one of the agents said, "I'm sorry," or apologized. I think a deep learning algorithm would look at that and say, okay, whatever you do, don't ever apologize, right? If you want a good outcome, don't apologize. That's the solution. But obviously that's not the case, right? We know that you apologize because the customer was really unhappy and they were probably going to give you a bad score anyways. So that's key. When you start to gather the data and you start to do A/B testing and getting at causal inference rather than just doing this backward-looking analysis, you get really deep. You understand people on a much deeper level than you would just this backward-looking quick analysis.